Yeah, welcome guys. How are you?
Thank you. Very good.
Amazing.
Hello, good morning.
I think my colleague already introduced you, but maybe you can tell us a bit what you're doing at your festival so that we get a little insight of your jobs.
So, as they already announced, I'm coming from Exit Festival that is held in Serbia. It's one of the major festivals, award-winning festivals, with very diverse music genre that we have. But what is really important for us is that the festival started as an activist movement against the politic back then, but now we are still keeping very much the movement, and we're still very into the whole activism with like green topics and everything. And now we are here to talk about the mental health issues, and we had an amazing campaign that really touched that topic as well. So I'm here to talk a little bit about that.
Happy to have you here.
Thank you for invitation.
Yeah, hi, my name is Fede. I'm one of the founders of Unreleased Berlin. And we started a bit more than a year ago. And we have 10 secret acts every month who play unreleased music. So our approach was from an artist point of view, that artists can have the possibility to just show unreleased music if they want right from the studio. So, and what we did is to ban phones, yes, but firstly to protect the unreleased music, and not only for having a better experience for the audience. So I think we will dig deeper later it's a benefit for both the audience but also the artists. But yeah, that's the main reason why we ban phones, yeah.
Hello, my name is Artur. I'm from Portugal. I'm one of the co-directors of Boom Festival. It's a festival that has been going on since '97. We have 40,000 people, no headliner event, no sponsors. We don't accept any corporate financing. And we are also a no headliner festival. We just recently sold out in 48 hours without any kind of lineup. And we have around 21 stages. 4 are about music, and the rest is about creating an immersive experience of transformation, but also of consciousness and the expanding of the individual boundaries. So the whole topic of phones, national flags, and others is something that we address really carefully, always with a non-prohibitionist approach. We try as much as possible to create an environment where we provide tools and people make their own decisions. Of course, we are there to facilitate the disruption and the breakthroughs. And one of our methods is to bring people from all over the world and to create an environment in nature where they can see that things are really coherent. So not only we do the festival, but we also own a land. We have a big farm in Portugal where we do also a regenerative project for the last 15 years. And that has been granting us lots of awards on the sustainable events kind of world. So when we talk about photography and banning the photography, we try to create an event where the consciousness and awareness are right there, and our method is through nature and through creating an immersive experience.
Thanks a lot, and such an interesting project. When we talk about photography policy on festivals, I want you to, before we go a bit deeper into the topic, I want you to ask, when was the last time you posted something on social media, and what was it? Was it from a festival or private stuff?
Half an hour ago.
Yeah, same.
I did yesterday about the future of festival, but last time we posted on our festival was actually on the World Toilet Day because we were promoting our technology that creates soil and also save water, because we are developing this technology. So once again, we are not big posting on social media, so we try again to generate awareness on what we do.
Yeah, but I think it already makes clear that, of course, posting on social media is like a big part of our industry. It's a big part of festivals. When do you guys decided to make it to a bigger topic, like all the stuff around photography, social media, reels, whatever you're posting on your accounts or from the festival?
Well, I can definitely say the topic that it really is important to us is the whole digital addiction of the younger generation. So nowadays we really, as you just mentioned, like we are waking up, we are holding our phone, we are going to bed, we are holding our phone, we are constantly on the phones. And being so responsible actually for so many younger generations, so many people that is coming to our festivals, it is important to tackle that topic as well, because we're not anymore living in the moments where people are just gonna come there, listen to the headliner, and just enjoy the moment. Immediately when the song is coming, that is your favorite song, you're just gonna hold your phone and you're gonna record it, and you're constantly recording. And nowadays we're seeing just the whole crowd is just with their phones. So we digged a little deeper in the whole topic of it, and we saw that the digital addiction is now actually the bigger addiction than even alcoholism or drug abuse. And actually, we're still not talking about it enough as a society. So what we did is we created a campaign, Life is Live, that is literally inviting people to live the life right now in the moment.
I think you prepared a little video for that, right?
Yes. Love the tension.
Is it working, guys? Okay, then we will show it later. Just
Okay.
go on.
But anyway, you will see later in the video, but the whole topic is exactly this. We partnered up with UNICEF, and what we did is we created this whole campaign is supposed to last for a few years. So the first year had a tagline as well with the Life is Live. We are living here, we are exploring our everyday things that we can happen, and instead of just posting immediately, just enjoying the hugs and enjoying the laughter, enjoying the time spent with the people there. And then this year, the next part of the campaign had the slogan "Last Scene." So we all know the last scene thing on social media. And the whole point of it is actually that when was the last time you danced with somebody, you actually hugged somebody, you kissed somebody, and inviting the people to come back to the moment and spend the time there. But to answer your question, we still have to use the social media and digital platforms because this is the way of communicating to our audience. And I think the most important part of it is doing it very carefully and with a lot of conscience, while also spreading the awareness that we do not overuse it and still live in a moment.
When you published the whole campaign, what was the reaction of the people? Because on social media, it's always like hating, liking stuff, but what was the reaction?
It was actually quite good. Quite good. We did not get any backlash or anything. Because, and I think this is also an important thing, we're not, as Arturo said as well, like we're not banning anything. We're just calling people to wake up, to spread awareness about it. And it's a very positive note of the campaign as well. So we actually got a pretty nice responses from the audience as well, supporting it as well, and then entering also contests of sending us like the photos they made on the festivals and stuff like that, where they're living in the moment and having fun with their friends, not just recording the sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it interesting because you said like you feel a responsibility for the audience, and I find that we have a responsibility for the artists as well. It's like two approaches, and that's why we started it a bit differently. So as I said, we began to create this format and to say we will have 10 secret acts, so that in the first place people come to just enjoy the music and are not coming for a headliner or whatever. and to ban the phones to create a safer space for the artists to show their unreleased music, because in the end it's about like the raw emotions that they get. So in the first place it's to protect the music, but in the second place, of course, you create a unique atmosphere. But I want to say that by banning the phones, I think it's always a risk, also for the artists, because like it's the only time, especially for younger artists who perform on a stage, that like 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 people are standing in front of them and they have the possibility to promote their music online. So what we did from the beginning, like we said, okay, let's ban the phones, but let's have an approach to become a platform ourselves to add value to the artists who now come for the digital formats as well. And also we create a special environment for the audience, and the audience will stick to your channel. So the audience is waiting for us to post their favorite moments on the channel. So it's always, we have to think about, in the end, it's also a social development. We're not going to stop it. So we have to think about how to work with it. And that's why, yeah, we said, you can just lay back. We will make the photos and videos for you, and they can be sure that from every artist they will have their favorite moments online, and the artist will have like, yeah, a special moment there with cutting the phones. But then, yeah, I also had a video, but I don't want to risk it now. The video is about a newcomer who had his first time on stage at Unreleased. We filmed it and then put it online, and it went crazy viral. He gained like 10, 15K followers, and we couldn't do that without cutting the phones. But not only to create a special atmosphere, but because we have a strong focus on marketing and on social media, but we ban the phones.
Of course, that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, for us, when we talk about this topic, we are talking about presence. And presence is something that in the fast-paced industry and the need for all of us to promote maybe can be anachronic to what we need. So one thing is the need for artists and promoters to publicize, to advertise, to communicate their events or their shows or their performances. Another thing is the behavior that we want to convey with our audiences. And the behavior we want to convey is presence. We want them to be in the right moment, the here and now, to attend the show, to have a full commitment with the other people of the audience, to have full commitment with the artist, and to create a good vibe. So what we try to do is to create campaigns of awareness so that we can raise awareness. But the awareness is not only about the phones, it's also about the environment. So what we do is we have this campaign which is the Unplug to Connect, which is regarding the photos, but also the technology, so that we want people to disconnect from the technology, to raise their awareness, to be present in the right moment, in the right time. At the same time, we also work with the environmental side. For us, it makes total sense to work with the environmental side because it's also what is our concept, is bringing people to the nature, which is different from if you are bringing people to a club. It's totally different because you are in an urban environment. The phone, the cell phone is part of the code, part of the sign. And on that matter, it's quite important to ban. Because, okay, you ban or you create a block. In the end, people can find their way. But at least you signal that. But when you bring people to the nature, there is some kind of a grounding. It's something stronger than ourselves. When people go to an event in the nature, and imagine you come from Germany to Portugal, or you go from Australia to Portugal.
Beautiful.
There is kind of a rite. There is kind of a pilgrimage kind of mindset that when you go there and when you enter a natural setting, you kind of go into a place where you are a bit overwhelmed by the natural setting. And then it's quite easier to put these campaigns on. So the environmental side, when we raise awareness for the water usage or when we raise awareness for the technology use, and of course, when you raise awareness for the national flags, we are talking about we are much more than a national identity or a religion identity or a culture identity. And the natural setting is quite a powerful tool for people to be more susceptible, more open, to have these seeds to blossom inside them. So to wrap it up, it's quite important to create campaigns. It's quite interesting to see the power of the grounding, and in the end what we really want to create is presence. And the presence, we have different mediums to raise that.
And what was the reaction from people? Do they like that? Do they accept that? Are they against it? What's your feeling about that?
No, we have very an amazing audience that is very open to go into these kind of behaviors. Very difficult to see a national flag in our event. Very easy to raise awareness about water usage. For instance, we have for instance, the Save the Water campaign, Save the Drop. We have also a quiz after the show where 92% of the people said it's very important to have shower times so that we block the water use. And people are very committed to that. And also with the cell phones, it's very not common to see people with the cell phones on the dance floor. So I would say it's very positive, these kind of measures.
And of course, it is a very important topic to speak about things like that. But on the other hand, if people show this to social media, because at the end, all these videos, all these reels, photos are always advertising for free. So you guys say, okay, I'm banning the phones, or not even banning, but part of it. You won't get these free advertising, because it's always when people film something, do photos, post it on social media, of course it's about reach, it's about telling other people about it, and you guys don't have that at the end, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, we flipped it a bit. So the only possibility to create these special moments is to cut the phones. So firstly, if you scroll through TikTok, I know it because we're searching for artists all the time, you can't really separate anymore, like, okay, what's good? Like, of course, you can say, okay, I like this a bit more or that, but in the end, it's just too much. So we really need to curate our lineup. So, and by doing that and telling people to stop filming, and actually, like, we're banning, so we are really banning, we're not raising
really
awareness,
banning.
we are just banning. You just cut all this away, and we can, like, create these moments. And as I said, it's a pity that I can show the video now, because you really, or maybe I can, is it possible to show a video? Yeah? Does it work? Yeah, it's called...
We will show you first, and then the one from Exit Festival.
It's called like unreleased something.
I think they now want to show your video first.
I know, it's right. It's
Okay,
right.
then we will...
Do we have sound as well? Yeah.
It's so nice to see all the people smiling and dancing without the phones in their
Yeah,
hands.
exactly. And I have to say, like, I took this as an example to show you it was his first ever show, as I said. So, and all the people, as you see, knew the song after the first time he played it. And it was such a special moment. He never put out music before. So from that, and now he's like becoming like, I would say like in 2 or 3 years, like very famous in Germany, has like famous people featuring him and stuff. So as you see, like we cut the phones and then we put it online. And what we did is like, we told the whole story. Like we told the story of how special it was, and we can just do it by the secret lineup and by cutting the phone. So it's a different dynamic that we can use to then put it online again, and then create the buzz. And by doing that, of course, like people, as I said, are waiting for us to post. We have like, if you would do it like for your festival, you have content like for the next 6 months. If you do something like that, and we do co-creation posts with our artists who use it as a teaser before they go on tour, before like the new song comes out. So we create like a platform that the artists have another reason to play at our show, and not only because the atmosphere becomes more special by cutting the phones, but also because we can create moments and then a buzz on social media. So I have to say, like, yeah, the whole generation is on TikTok and Instagram, and that won't change. So yeah, we just try to use that.
Yeah, I want to emphasize another thing, which is, I mean, we as humans, we grow creating culture. We need each other to talk. So it's very important never to forget the power of word of mouth. And the banning means that word of mouth gains a big momentum. And we as humans, we reinforce each other a lot. And we give lots of credit. We give much more credit when we listen something about an event from a friend than what we see on social media. So, and my experience in the last years with events that ban phones, with festivals that have a more prohibitionist approach on that, is that people talk about much more about those events as a safe environment because they give credit to the other people.
And it's more unique and special.
It's more unique, and I think the whole word of mouth is gaining a big momentum these days as a promotion tool that actually all the promoters and all the artists can really explore on a good way, because we as humans, we love to listen from our friends what is good. And what is not good, we give also credit. So I would say that we should put a lot of energy, and for the promoters that maybe, or the artists that maybe have a bit afraid to do the banning, word of mouth will make for sure something with much more validity from the peers than the promotion. Of course, the promoter or the artist, they need to put out the content as there. But as we could see, it's beautiful to see an audience without any kind of cell phone. This makes much more sense than having the whole cell phones there.
And Anna, I think that's also part of your strategy, right? Not banning it, but making it, making people aware of put your phone in your bag or something.
I think at the end, like, we're all coming to the same point that we just want people to enjoy the moment. So while we are not banning and just raising awareness, I do have to say that I'm seeing the dance arena, that is our second biggest stage, very only electronic music, very temple for the electronic music. I have to say that I'm seeing less and less phones there, because people know that when they come there, they're just going to go there to dance and stay in the moment, and it's not something just to film and to be seen or something like this. So it is happening. It is something that goes steady. But regarding the content, we do have our team that is covering that, and we're taking care that we do have that part. So the social media and all the people that did not get their ticket and come to visit the festival, they will still get to see what's happening there, just without usage of that much content made from the audience itself. So we are anyway pushing more our content and as it is, and just leaving people, of course, posting if they want to. Just we don't take that in consideration for the promotion itself for the festival.
Yeah, I think before we go on, we will take a look to the video. How old are the people you want to reach? Because I saw a lot of young people on your videos, but I think it's not only a topic of young people. So we all posting things on social media, no matter how old we are. But to which people are you speaking when you do campaigns like this, or how old are the people visiting your shows? That's maybe something we can take a closer look at.
Yeah, I would say like the medium is like 24 years old, more or less. Yeah, but yeah, it gets a bit younger now. It's like, yeah, a lot of people are from like 19 to 22, I would say. But we also have older people. Like I don't know. I don't think I like the idea that, as I said, because it's secret. Like you don't know what to expect, so we just attract people who want to explore new music.
Yeah, our the bigger group on our festival is between the 30 to 34, but we have the whole generations. I mean, we even have 400 kids registered in our festival. So when we try to do a campaign, we try to tailor-made it to each age group, but at the same time, we have a festival that also have people from 169 countries. Only 15% is Portuguese. So the message has to be addressed in a way that is universal and understood on a way that is quite neutral. For instance, in some countries like Brazil, YouTube is huge. In other countries, Instagram is better. Others use TikTok and others more Facebook. So even the media that we address the message has to be something that we need to be very aware. We try as much as possible to trigger the message with the connection with nature. That's because it's one of our core elements. It's one of the differentiator elements that we do. So when we address the situation of the technology, for instance, we also address the situation of the carbon footprint of using clouds, the carbon footprint of need to have fuel to put a battery on if you are in the middle of the nature, because we need to bring the energy on into the festival grounds so that you can plug your phone. It's completely different than if you are in a city and you just put the grid and that's it. So the fact that we have nature part of the playbook helps a lot. And also this creates let's say a field where people can connect not only with a message about technology, but can also connect with a message of behavioral change. And this creates a much more long-lasting effect on the benefits that people will feel to change their behavior and not using the technology and not photographing. So we try as much as possible to play with different elements, having the nature there. And once again, presence. Try to create the sense of presence, the here and now. And this is a really important way to have the breakthroughs.
But how get people aware of this concept? Because of course you do posting on social media and stuff like that, but do you also do it in press or TV or radio station? So how get people to know your idea, the concept?
Yeah, we don't advertise as well, and we don't go for the mainstream media in Portugal, but also elsewhere. As I told before, the power of word of mouth is huge. The power of peer support is amazing. The connection between friends, the groups, the people that will talk with the other is incredible. We are a festival that since '97 we have been growing organically. We never spent €1, 1 cent on social media advertising. Everything has
That's
been
so crazy because
yeah,
all festivals do, I think.
yeah, and it's like we have more than 500,000 people on many of them. So the thing is, we know from fact, from experience, that humans together, we can reinforce, we can amplify the message on a really powerful, exponential way. But of course, this has to be connected with a good content strategy. As you were saying before, if you don't put the content, you don't reinforce the message. Of course, you will believe and you will make sure that what your friends are saying is good, but then you will look for yourself. And then we'll bring people into our own channels, into our own websites, into our own YouTube channels. They are there. We need to make sure that we use it properly. And then we have a good content strategy for that. And this content strategy, what we'll do is we'll give the facts. We'll show the depth and we'll create the storytelling regarding the experience. So through the content strategy and through the word of mouth, then we have like a good basis.
And it shows it's successful because, as you said, you're growing and growing without all these things. So it maybe shows other people, that it's true what you say.
But again, I mean, in our context, in our culture, in our event, makes sense. I can understand that in some other events, maybe it makes not sense. The thing is, we have to be adaptable, and we have all of these things on our hand that we can play around with.
Anna, would such a concept work for your festival?
Yeah, no, no. But I think that's the beauty of it. Like we're adapting, as you're saying, to what we have as our festival. We are tackling mainstream media. We're going big, but our approach is then because we are doing that, because we are on mainstream media. We are very out there in social digital platforms. Then to use that reach that we have of people to educate them and to raise the awareness of the problem that there is, also global issues, the green, the usage of plastic, mental health as it is. And then when you come to the festival, then you see that as well in the action. You have positive messages everywhere inviting you to live in a moment, to spend time with your friends. And we also do have a corner that is mental health corner where we do offer like giving advices from the professionals as well to the people. Last year we had 500 people coming to that point. And I mean, for a major festival, where you have like 50,000 people a day. But anyway, like that type of the festival, having a mental health corner where people seek advices is amazing. It's already a huge leap for also a Balkan country and also nationalities that are coming there and cultural aspects. So what I want to say is like we are different, but I think our goal is the same, and we're just using different strategies to come to the same goal and to spend more time in
and
life.
it shows like then if topics like that, because of course mental health is a really deep topic, and if you do that on a festival and so many people are coming in the first year, it shows that it works, right?
Absolutely. I really want to believe so. And we're seeing the progress, and I really hope we're making some changes.
Yeah, I think it in the beginning, like when music started, it was all about, as you said, about culture, coming together, celebrating together, no matter how old are you, where you're coming from. And I think, you both go a bit back to the roots. Would you agree?
Yeah, I just want to ask, like, you put people in the nature, and they have this kind of phone-free experience. How are you capturing those moments? Do you have like specific formats to also show how it is for the people to be in the nature, or when they plant trees or something, and you spread it like over the year? Like I want to understand how this specific content strategy can look, because I think maybe that could be interesting also.
Yeah. I mean, as I said before, and it's the same like you do. You have a good content strategy so that you never feel that you are not telling a story. So what we try as much to do is to tell the story, to have a very often strategy that is very often with new content. And this new content is connected not only with the experience of the festival, but it's also connected with the livelihood of the farm where we do the regenerative work itself. So for instance, in the exit there is all this background of an activist festival. And you can see the coherence from the beginning until now. Mental health, I mean, if you are not aware of your health, if your mind, how can you struggle against the power? How can you not be an activist? So I can see a coherence there. And what we try to do is have a very, very common way, and every week, every month, to show people what we are doing behind the scenes. And to show that it's quite important that it's not only about the festival, it's also a regenerative work that we are doing in the festival. So the humans go to a farm and they can bring back life, they can bring back biodiversity, they can use from the festival experience an imaginary world that turns a reality. From the moment that you go to the festival, you help this new biodiversity to blossom in a place in Portugal where we have systemic drought. But in the festival, we create 2 water treatment stations, and we use some technology that we developed on the toilets, for instance, that we create soil, and then we recirculate the water. And through these people that go to the festival using these technologies, we bring back, we close the circle into that nature, into that specific context, and biodiversity blossoms. And when you show that going to the festival is not only about having an amazing cultural experience with your friends, with art, with music, you have a blast, you have a lot of pleasure, but you also show that with the energy of 40,000 people, with the right technology, with the right ethics, which is we don't advertise with big corporations, we don't accept sponsors, we only serve brands that are ethical, we have fair trade, we don't allow any big brands to go there. You show people that it's much more than the festival. And through this much more than the festival, you show that you as a promoter, you have a coherency, you have an ethics. You create an experience that is holistic. And when you show this, and then you reinforce that with the whole content strategy, it's very easy. Of course, the change of behavior is never easy, but it's much easier for all of our audience and for all other people to also go into this kind of behavioral change. So it's very important that the content is hooked by the location, by the choices that we do as promoters, and through that, the content also reinforces, let's say, it gives all the tools for our audience to go into the behavioral change. This is for us, our experience, that we can share that has been long-lasting effects for sure.
It sounds so easy at the end.
It's never easy
I know,
to work with humans, right?
Yeah,
But
of course.
Yeah, sorry. I find it interesting because I would like to emphasize that I often don't like in this discussion phones, no phones. It, as you say, it sounds so easy. But I think the discussion has to be a lot bigger than that. Like as you're saying, you're adding like a meaning to the festival. Like we try to add value for the artists, for the audience. So you have to have a whole concept, and like banning the phones can always just be a part of it, a part in this strategy. But what I see also in my preparation for the panel, all the articles I read and the discussions, so it's about too many people film on concerts, and should we ban them or not ban them? And it's not like it doesn't get to the point. So I find it interesting also. Yeah,
it's not that easy. It's simply so layered topic because first of all, like human mind is so layered. I mean, it's not that easy to just pick a cherry and just let's resolve this issue and just ban the phones and not do anything with it that will come as a story. This is what I'm thinking. As it has to be authentic at the end of the day. It has to tell the story why that is happening. Why do you stand behind it? Is it for artists? Is it for the audience? Is it for a bigger cause? Is it for whatever? But it's not that easy. It's not one cherry.
Yeah, and I think also, I mean, we are in a good moment to address this topic because for the first time the artists are speaking out. Because in the last years there's been a solitude work from promoters. That's the reality. And finally, last time one of the most viralized videos was Bob Sinclair in Greece. Yeah. Then was David Guetta. I think it was Coldplay or some rock band, I can't remember, that also is trying to ban the phones. 9 Inch Nails are starting to talk about it. I mean, now our artists are also starting to speak out about shut up the whole phones, be present in the moment. And this is a good moment. I think finally everybody is trying to raise awareness. Again, like I said in the beginning, like the whole word of mouth. Now lots of videos get a huge viralization, which is the DJs that take out the cell phones of the people that are filming them. This is spreading like a virus on social media where the artists are there and they put down the phone of the people around them. So finally there is also this good momentum. And I think we are heading into a good point, which is people are more aware about the importance of banning phones in some events. People are more aware about some policies. The artists are starting to speak out. And I think ultimately even the newer generations, they will start to feel that it's much better to be present and to feel the event with your friends and listening to the music properly without this mediation of technology there.
Of course, but I think it's very interesting what Federico said, because when I prepared for the panel, I was searching in Google and Instagram to find other festivals or clubs or whatever that are having the same vibe than you guys. And it was very difficult. So, of course, a lot of festivals try to do things like you do with Exit Festival or you, but it's still a big problem for them, because in the last years they learned, okay, we put all the social media content, we do ad campaigns on Facebook, on Instagram, and everywhere, and now they are in a position where they can't change it from one day on the other. So what do you think, how many months, years will it take to make people more aware of concepts that are already working very well, as we see with your
I think,
concept?
for instance, in Germany you have this Buchte the Trommel festival. They also banned the phone, and I mean everybody that goes there, they are doing a game changer into the whole scene as well.
But
Because
it's one of thousands in Germany.
yeah. I think like everything in the world, it will take time. But like everything in today's world, where the flame is there, it's going to spread very fast. Because that's a good thing with social media and with all the communication tools, is that things spread very fast. And also, the more we have events even festivals or others that do this kind of experience, and the more we have big campaigns that can spread awareness, and the more artists will start to take a step on it, I think the more we'll go. But it's not going to be this or that. It's going to be that and this. So we will have to coexist together.
Yeah, what we see at the moment, I mean, I know more about the German rap scene. So in the German rap scene already we have like 2 or 3 big artists that now started half a year ago to go on tour and banning the phones. So I think like in this scene there's already a movement starting right now. I don't want to talk about marketing the whole time, but I think it's a big part of it, as I said. I think as soon as the strategies, the content strategies and the awareness and the creativity in the end to promote their artists will raise, like we will see more tours without phones. Because right now it's the easiest way to just say, yeah, okay, we go on tour. We have 1,500 stories per tour stop. So yeah, of course we'll just do it. So I think until this doesn't change, it will be hard. And also what I saw is now a lot of artists are speaking up, as you said, but it's like the big artists. It's like, yeah, okay, applaud me
Because
with my
they can,
3
they
million
already have reach.
followers that I ban phones. Yeah, it's nothing, it's nothing special. It's about like the smaller artists.
But I want to add also, I think we're as generation and as a world, especially post-COVID, and we know it's a huge difference post-COVID and before that, I think every day we're coming closer to that moment, like, I just want to leave my phone away. I want to live in the moment. I need a day off the grid. I need this. And I think the more the younger generations are doing this, and I'm really seeing it's happening, plus, at the same time, events and festivals offering those types of experiences where you can be off the grid and really gather really beautiful experiences and moments. And I know we're repeating ourselves with few words, awareness and moments and everything. But at the end of the day, this is what we are remembering, right? We're remembering that moment with a friend and not the story that we posted. So I think we are offering this on one hand. On the other hand, the whole generation is going towards that. I think at some point it will just align very nicely, and it will just become as a movement. And I hope that at least that will happen. Not in the months. I'm pretty sure it will take more time, but I hope that alignment will come at some point.
Sorry, one last point. And I also think that as soon as event organizers start to understand that they have to look through the artist's eyes as well, not only from the audience's point of view, so that they can really see, okay, I have a responsibility for the artist, and that's why I can also take this urge away from the audience. Because in the end, like, why are the people filming? Because they want to have a memory. And we can tell them, yeah, but you have to be in the moment, the memory is in your head, all right. But it won't change. Like, this feeling won't change. So in the end, I think if we really focus on more formats and taking this away from the audience and taking the responsibility on to tell the artist, I will post that for you and we will create the platform and you will have your reach and you will have it professionally filmed, and also tell the audience, you can just stick to our side, you can just like enjoy the moment. At this point, something can change. But if we just say, yeah, we ban the phones to have a better experience and then do nothing else about it, that won't be the solution.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, but I think it will take some years because labels, booking agencies, artists, they have learned in the last couple of years you have to post on social media. That's the most important thing in life and more important than your music. So I think it will take time to make a change there. Okay, everyone has like a last sentence, a last wish, a last whatever. So feel free to say whatever you want to say.
No, I think I will reinforce this message about the word of mouth, the comeback,
That's really
the
good.
comeback of the word of mouth. I mean, it's like this. We cannot be a dam in today's world in terms of technology. I think technology is very important for everyone, but the word of mouth is having a coming back, and it's something that we all need to put strength, focus, and energy on it. Because we as humans, we go to events socially. And we're talking about COVID. It was horrible to be in these events alone, streaming. We did streamings. I mean, from the moment that we start to go to shows and festivals together, it's a game changer. And humans, we are social beings. And music is a social experience most of the time. So the power of the word of mouth, it's something that we should never neglect.
I keep that in mind. It's a very nice message.
Yeah, I think you got my core message, so I don't want to tell that again. But yeah, thanks so much for being here. I don't know if we have the time for some questions later.
Of course.
And yeah, and if not, like we here all the time, like the whole day, we can like discuss. If you have artists to promote in Germany, we're here.
I would add one more thing. I agree completely with everything you guys are saying. I think the goal should be kind of finding a balance in life between the digital part of our persona, the digital life and technological part, and having a real life experiences.
At the end, it's all about balance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, thanks a lot. And of course, we're open for questions.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much for this interesting conversation. I am from Kidsburn, which is a small event inspired by the Burning Man principles. And on our event, we have at the core the principle of consent. And it means that pictures can only be taken if everybody in the frame can consent. So, of course, you cannot take a picture of or a movie on a big stage. And yeah, I'm a little bit surprised, I have to say, that this concept was not spoken about. And yeah, to me it's like really the main reason why I guess like in a lot of Berlin clubs there is like a ban that's to prevent like, so that people can just let go. Which means, of course, like drug usage, let's call it cat, but at the same time a bit of nudity, a bit of yeah, potentially sex happening. And as a woman, as a Flinta person, I think like this notion of consent is really at the core of my attachment to phones being banned. What's your take on that?
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. It's a huge point. Also for us, yeah. I mean, we're not banning the phones because of that. But as I was saying, like in Berlin, the whole club scene is doing it because of this reason. So that's a super important point. I think what we are doing is like to, in this case, raise awareness. We have like an awareness team at the show, which is very visible and like which is ensuring that everyone is feeling well. This is an important point. But yes, but the ultimate solution for that, well, not solution, but part of the solution would actually to just let all of the cameras away, also ours.
Yeah. But I think we are still not there. There are a lot of awareness concept and stuff like this, but clubs and festivals are not always safe spaces. And I think that will also take years that everybody feels welcome again on festivals and in clubs.
I have to say I fully agree with your point and everything you're saying. In point when you're having a festival with 50,000 people in the moment, it's it's very challenging to do so, and it takes, I think, a lot of time doing campaigns like this and spreading awareness that we can get to the point of generally thinking of these points, plus then actually doing something about it. I'm saying it's a really valid point. It is. I just think we will need to work a long time before we come to the moment that we can actually do this as well in the festivals. As big as we are, for example. I'm speaking for us.
Okay. Guys, thanks a lot. One more question. Sorry.
Hello, my name is Kyriakos. I represent Street Mode Festival in Greece. And I would like to pose a question to Federico. How exactly do you ban phones? I mean, you save the phones at the door. What exactly do you do to ban?
Yeah, so yeah, as a lot of clubs are doing it as well, we are like putting stickers on it. So it's a very simple method, but also, of course, it can always happen. We tell the artists that, of course, there's always a possibility that someone like still films, but our audience, or like 50% of our audience, is coming like every month, and then you have this like, yeah, let's say peer pressure, but that's more of a negative term. Let's say community feeling. Yeah, maybe better. That no one is filming and that you're actually in the moment. So we also had the situation that people started filming and the others around were saying, hey, it's not the case now. So yeah, actually it's by putting a sticker on it on the cameras. Yeah, nothing special.
Okay. Any other questions? No. Thanks for joining, thanks for listening, and have a nice day.
We have
one. Sorry.
Hi, my name is Leonie. I'm sorry. We spoke about this topic at Buch der Träume. I was hosting a panel about this topic exactly. I think the main problem is that you have to actually educate the artists because they were forced by the bookers and by the events and whatever management to do all these like postings and do all these stuff they don't have to do actually because they're musicians, and then they had to do it, and then they were obviously and like all of a sudden like filming the audience, and I think that made a huge effort and effort, like it just changed the whole idea of the vibe and the event, and then also the audience started. So I think you have to like educate the bookers and also the artists that they stop filming at festivals. This is my opinion.
Good point, yes.
Yes, I mean, yeah, I also think, as I was saying, like we have a responsibility that we take a part of that ourselves, and that we became like a very valid platform for the artists, that they can just focus on making music. As I was saying as well, we won't change this dynamic. So artists now became influencers, content creators. So that won't change. Like in the end, like we are one part of the machinery. But but I totally agree that we have a responsibility as well, and that we have to really add value for artists playing at our shows.
Yeah, I think each scene has its own thing, but I would say actually we need to educate the bookers. Because sometimes the bookers have a more important role than the artists, and sometimes some artists they just follow the lead of the bookers, and some bookers sometimes they have a bit of overpower on something. I think they have important as part of the industry, but that's a good point. I think we should start to educate the bookers. But again, each scene has its own scene. We are okay because we sold out without any lineup announcement, so we kind of have the freedom to do it. But the bookers sometimes they are kind of on behind the email, behind the computer. They never show up, or they don't show up so much more. So I think the bookers can be a good target for us to raise awareness as well.